just quickly look at what the mid-cap and small-cap indices are doing before we go to Dharmesh Kant and get a sense of where the broader end of the markets are. And not too much enthusiasm. It sort of mirrored what we've seen through the day, which is that we opened on a very, very strong point, some sort of, sustainability, and then you've kind of tapered off, I would say, about of maybe not really harsh profit booking, but some profit booking coming in. Kunal Shah with us this afternoon. He is Senior Technical and Derivative Analyst at LKP Securities. Dharmesh Kant also joining in. He's Head Equity Research at Chola Securities. Very good afternoon to both of you. Great as always to have you on NDTV Profit. But Kunal, let me begin with where you see the levels going and where really that pressure is coming in for the Nifty.
Good afternoon. I think what we have seen in the markets, a strong up move in both the mid cap as well as these small cap indices. Now looking forward on the technical chart, the uptrend is still intact. I expect Nifty to at least touch the mark of 22,800, 900 in the near term and eventually 23,000 on the higher end. Bank Nifty also looks positive. Bank Nifty is likely to achieve the figure of 50,000 also going forward. So for me, my view on both the indices remains positive. The mid cap and the small cap space might enter into a consolidation phase. There will be certain stocks or certain sectors which will start outperforming rather than the entire basket of mid cap and small cap outperforming. So I think at higher levels, we will keep on consolidating on mid cap and small caps, but the indices will continue to make a new high.
Kunal, let's just get your top picks right up front. How would you play this afternoon right now as you see some selling pressure coming in? Anything that you would pick?
The stock which I'm liking even at the current levels is one from the large caps, and that is LNT. LNT still looks very strong on the technical charts where higher high, high low formations are still intact. We are on the verge of a breakout where 3820, above that the breakout will be confirmed. I'm preempting this breakout to come in, so one can initiate long positions at the current levels, keeping a stop loss of 3,700 on the downside and looking for targets of 4,000 to 4,100 on the upside.
LNT is Kunal's pick this afternoon.
You know, the set of stocks which have had a bit of a yo-yo move between yesterday and today, Kunal, are autos, right? Up yesterday, down today. Reliance is the other one. Is there a thought on Reliance, for example?
Even if we look on Reliance, I think overall the chart structure still remains bullish. On Reliance, what we have seen is that it has been a leader in this last leg of rally, what we have got. And I think this momentum will continue on the higher end. I'm expecting Reliance to surpass the mark of 3,000 again and even go towards the mark of 3,100. So even if whatever dip we have got in today's trading session, I'll be a buyer in this dip for Reliance, looking for targets of 3,100 and keeping a stop loss of 2,860 on the downside.
Okay. Now,
take from Kunal Shah and Dharmesh Kant, since we're talking about TRIL. Kunal, on the charts, what do you see happening here?
Yeah, I think if you look at the long-term charts, I think the breakout had come in much earlier around that 100, 200 levels. And post that, the stock has rallied steeply. And now, again, the fresh breakout after this recent correction, what we had in mid-cap and small cap, the recent breakout which happened around 380, 400 marks, and post that the stock has been zooming. So still there is upside left. I think the stock can go towards the levels of 520, 515 on the upside. Looking at a base on the downside at around 440, 460. So as long as 450 is not taken out decisively, I expect this rally to continue towards 515 to 520 zone.
And
Kunal, I just want to bring you in on one of the pointers that he mentioned, and which is what we are seeing with select IT names today. Persistent seeing some bit of short covering. Infosys on that BOFA upgrade is up in trade, was up about 2% at a point of time before cooling off a little bit. So some of these IT names ahead of the TCS numbers just starting to inch up a little bit, some short covering there. You look at both technicals and derivatives. How do you gauge what's happening in IT and any specific stock that may stand out for you?
Yeah, I think overall, if I look at the Nifty IT chart, I think the IT chart had already given a breakdown earlier when it broke the level of 36,500. Now, since we are heading towards the result season, we might expect some pullback coming in from the current levels. But overall, the structure still remains weak. I expect this pullback again to be a good opportunity to look for sell positions. So from the short-term perspective, yes, one can trade a bullish bet from the current levels on IT space just for a minor pullback, but the larger term picture still remains extremely bearish for me. So on the IT front, one stock which I would like to highlight here from the FNO space, which looks interesting, it's HCL Tech. Now, HCL Tech, if you look on the technical chart, it has taken a support at its 100 DMA, and from there we have seen multiple bounces in the last 10 to 12 trading sessions. So I think it is forming a base at those levels. We can expect a pullback at least toward the levels of 1600 mark. Now 1600 is a point where even on the open interest front, there has been the highest open interest built up. So it's clearly a resistance on the technical as well as on the derivative data as well. So you can expect some pullback towards 1600, keeping a stop loss of 1520 on the downside.
I want to get Kunal's take on some of these names and especially Hindustan Zinc. How would you play this right now, Kunal?
I think if I firstly talk on the entire metal space, I think the metal sector has witnessed a strong breakout a few days back. And post that breakout, we have seen a continuous uptick with high, high, high low formations. So if you look at the metal index, which is currently trading at around 1,800 800 zone, I expect this level to go toward 9,300, 9,500 mark, which is almost equal to 5 to 6% even from the current levels. So if as a metal index can move up by 5 to 6%, you will see at least stock moving up by at least 10% in the very short term. So we continue to remain bullish on the metal space. Hindustan Zinc, if we talk about, the stock has already witnessed since the last 2 weeks. If you look at the chart, it has been a non-stop run from 294 to 392. So almost 100-point kind of a move what we have got. So definitely not at this point to initiate fresh longs. Already holding from the lower levels, continue to hold it. On a longer term chart perspective, it's a fresh breakout what we have got. The stock can go towards the mark of 430, 440 on the short term. Anybody who want to take a fresh entry into the stock, wait for some declines, which you will get around the mark of 364, 365. So if stock comes around these levels, one can enter again for a fresh trade.
430, up to 430 on Hindustan Zinc is what Kunal is saying.
And so cooling solutions, or today HSBC has upgraded some of the polycab and stocks of that kind as well. Kunal, just very quickly a word on these, and if there is a BTST or an STBT strategy that you have, then couple that up with that as well.
See, I think firstly, if we talk about the entire space of air conditioner, I think stocks, the technical chart looks very good. Specifically, I would like to talk about Blue Star here. I think Blue Star, if you look on a longer time frame, the stock has been trading with a strong volume-based buying from the lower levels. And you have seen higher top, higher bottom formations forming continuously on the monthly chart. Yes, the stock has already rallied quite a lot. So already if somebody is holding from the lower levels, continue to hold it. I expect to go towards 1550 in the short term. For fresh entry, look for a dip towards 1350, currently trading around 1400. So if you get a 50-point dip into the stock, utilize that dip to buy. Again, looking for targets of 1550 on the upside. On the lower end, the base is for the stock is formed at 1300. So 1300 is a good support, a good risk to reward ratio, where on a 50-point stop loss, you can work for a targets of almost 150 on the upside. Coming for a BTST idea, I think we have seen the gas space has been doing very well recently. One stock which I would like to highlight over here for BTST would be Petronet. Petronet, if you look at the technical charts, it is on the verge of a long consolidation breakout, and the breakout level is around 290 to 91, currently trading at 289. So this breakout would eventually come in tomorrow. So a good bet to take right now. 289 is the price, so one can initiate long positions at the current levels, keeping a stop loss on the downside at 284, looking for first target of 296 and second target of 302.
Okay. So just incidentally, IFL Finance 2 or 3 days on a trot has had a really good move. So keep an eye out for that as well. On that note, both of you, thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us. Really, really appreciate your time this afternoon. That's Kunal and Dharmesh with their thoughts.